What's up, Dragon Brood? So we are continuing on building new decks in Standard with Strixhaven cards. And actually, it's been pretty fun so far. I know a lot of the early assessment was going to be that, oh, these cards can't hang, and there's going to be issues with Eldraine, and blah, 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 blah. But like, so far, we've been able to find plenty of stuff that's playable, and lots of stuff that's really fun, to tell you the truth, which has been pretty surprising. So today, I'm just going down the line and trying the different, the schools as they are, universities, I don't know, places within Strixhaven. But that's also, by the way, I want to point out that Strixhaven is actually a place on a plane. I can't remember the name of the plane, but actually it's like Strixhaven is not the plane. It's not like Ravnica, where the whole plane is a cityscape. Like, this whole thing isn't a university. This is just one spot there. So I don't know. Weird thing I figured I would bring up for those that are in the into the lore or whatever, I guess. But anyway, we have things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Quandrix. Just an aggro deck, but there's some cool things I think you're going to be able to do with this. And this is neat because it feels very Simic-y in the ways you get to play it. So I'm really digging that part of it. But really got to do some fun stuff. So let's get strapped in and go take a look at this Quandrix aggro deck. Now, I do want to say here, we did make some changes to this final list. So, and I may still be updating this as we speak. So please be sure to check the description down below and get the deck list, because it might actually be changed. I don't know. There's a lot that I liked about this list, so I may not touch it. But anyway, let's just get into it. And then after you see the games, there's some pretty crazy wins. So I think you'll see what I'm talking about. But starting at the top, we're playing 4 Snakeskin Veils. And I teetered between 3 and 4, and 3 might still be the right number. So if there's a card you want to put in here, you want to up the numbers of something else, it's probably worth doing. But this card really protects a lot of cards early. It's good against mono red. It's good against Sultai. It's good against just like a whole pile of things, especially when you're working on incremental damage and only really need to get like 1 or 2 more big hits in. This is huge for protecting your creatures, especially since you have things that can go search mana out constantly. You're able to actually play your creatures, leave a mana up, and leaving 1 mana up actually isn't that bad to be able to protect something. It also works as a good surprise block effect, right? So your opponents might want to block and then stomp something or whatever, and then like, okay, well, now it's actually another bigger so it doesn't die. And then that turns the whole thing around. And not only that, whenever somebody goes to stomp or petty theft or whatever one of your creatures, you actually end up countering the whole thing because you make it hexproof. So the spell is countered on resolution, and they actually lose their adventure card. So you're actually getting a lot of value out of 1 mana for Snakeskin Veil. Emergent Sequence. This is actually a card I'm still experimenting with, and I'm kind of on the fence. I kind of like it, I kind of don't. I could see a world where people don't play this and they just play like Florahedrons possibly, or maybe they play Gilded Goose or whatever. There's a bunch of things. Any of the mana creatures I think are reasonable to play here. But here, what I'm hoping for is actually, if it does work, you actually go from 2 to 4, but you also potentially have a 2/2 creature there, which can get benefit from other cards later. And the way the deck plays out, being able to just go straight up into 4 allows you to do some other big things as well. A couple of Scavenging Oozes, just because these are still good against a whole variety of things. I mean, they're good against Lurrus decks, they're good against Rogues, good against Mardu Sacrifice, like just so many things. So still going to play it. And again, I think you could also up this to maybe 3. So if you do cut a Snakeskin Veil, considering one of your cards being a Scavenging Ooze. Matter of fact, I think there's a game where literally I play Scavenging Ooze on 2 and it goes like 13 turns for the win. So like, there you go. Spoiler, but go check that out. Forward Decisive Denial. This is the reason I really wanted to try this deck out, because it's an instant speed fight spell, which is nice because you don't have a ton of those, but then also allows you to have a counter backup. And most of the things you're worried about are bigger spells. You know, we're worried about like Extinction Event, the other Shadow's Verdict or whatever that thing is, right? You're worried about ultimatums. You know, even just stopping a Binding of the Old God sometimes against the Sultai decks is actually a pretty big deal, because it slows them ramping to get to the thing they want, and you get to keep the creature they were going to try to kill. So lots of good stuff going on with this card. Augmenter Pugilist. This one I teetered on the fence on, but decided I was going to go ahead and play it. And it's actually a sizable body. Like, it can get to an 8/8 fairly regularly in this deck. But I actually like the backside of this because you can turn everything into, like, a Kazandu Mammoth whenever you're able to drop a land that turn. Or maybe you have, like, turn everything into Kazandu Mammoths and then you play Emergent Sequence, you know, that sort of thing. You can turn everything into Gargaros and get a big attack where you gain a bunch of life or draw a bunch of cards. Like, that's a thing. So lots of fun stuff you can do with this card. Kazandu Mammoth, we all know what it is. It's really good. Quandrix Command, most of the time, we're using this to bounce a creature, put counters on one of our creatures. You can counter an artifact or enchantment, which is relevant when you're, again, talking about things like Binding of the Old Gods. So that's a thing you might actually want to counter. But generally speaking, we're using the other two. The bottom one doesn't come into play that often, except against maybe like Proxas or some other something, you know, with Escape, really making people shuffle things into their from their graveyard into their library. So this is, of the commands, this is the one where usually you're just using 3 modes of it, but even then, those modes you do get a good amount of use out of. Playing 2 Questing Beasts. These were late additions to the party, even after I played the games, just because I wanted one more haste creature. I wanted something, especially right now, that can push past all of the pest tokens. You know, I think that's a thing we didn't really have to think much about before. Now it's a thing. So, you know, getting Questing Beasts in there alongside some other Tramplers is really what you want in those matchups. Then a couple of Quandrix Cultivator. I started initially with 4 of these, and I cut back, and now I'm down to 2. I do think the card's still really good, being able to go to 4 to 5 to make sure you can play like Quandrix, Gargaroth, you know, right after it. But the card itself isn't great as a top deck, so I wanted to trim that down a little bit. Then Elder Gargaroth, probably the best 5 mana green card ever. I mean, if not, it's definitely in the conversation. Tanzanir Quandrix. Now, this I like because, 1, doubling counters on stuff is good, considering you have Scavenging Ooze, Emergent Sequence. I think we had something else we could break. Oh, the Quandrix command puts counters on things, right? The other part, though, is when you're able to attack, because we do also have Stonecoil Serpent further down the list. But when you're attacking with, you know, Stonecoil Serpent, the Emergent Sequence token, even Pugilist gets bigger and then gets the bonuses it gets from itself. So you can make everything a base power 4 and then get to do that extra damage. So really cool in here. And it's a flyer. You don't have a ton of those there. But between Gargaroth and Quandrix, you can block flyers. So that's pretty nice. Then we're playing 1 Vorinclex because we don't have a ton of counters, but just having a big haste creature is nice. And then just because we can get the mana, 1 Koma. This was a late addition as well. But we can get mana a bunch of different ways, so why not have something to do with it when we get it? And then, of course, 3 Great Hinge, 4 Stonecoil Serpent. So that's a lot going on with this deck, but it's really cool. Lands we're actually a little tight on. So we're playing 1 Island, 8 Forest, 4 Pathway, 4 the Snarl, 3 Fabled Passage. If you notice, that's only 9, 13, 17, 20. But we do actually have Emergent Sequence, which is a thing. We've got the Kazandu Mammoth, which can be lands. And then we also have the Cultivators that can go find land. So we're not without a lot of mana sources, but it is something you have to be aware of when you're playing. But that's it. Let's go watch some games and see what went down. All right, we get to go first. And this isn't the most exciting hand, but we will keep it. Mostly because it gives us the opportunity to use a Decisive Denial on turn 2, our opponent's turn 2. Actually, our turn 3 if we don't find anything else to play. Alright, so put the Snarl in. I guess I should just went ahead and... Well, I don't know. We'll see. I guess never punish. Never punished. Alright, so next turn. Hey, Mikey, I didn't realize you were going to be up this late. Welcome. So I think what we're going to do is... Oh, Pugilist is kind of cool. Just going to play this, and I'm going to pass. And I may try to play around here, leaving mana open for a Decisive Denial. But I don't know. We could also Pugilist and leave up a Snakeskin Veil. Ooh, that's annoying. Okay, I guess there's really not a lot I could do about that. I mean, I could fight it if I wanted to, but... I can get a cultivator, then get a pugilist. Probably gonna get a cultivator here. Oh, you're off till Monday. Well, good time. All right. Oh, it looks like a bunch of people are starting to roll in here. Thank you for that like, by the way. I have no idea if this is going to be good or bad for us. I have a feeling this is going to be bad. Though, if our opponent only has extinction events, it's not terrible for us. Because we would have even things, they would have even things, but then we'd get our pugilist back. That seems mostly okay. Nothing in the graveyard to eat, really. Okay. Stonecoil Serpent. What do we want to do with you? Probably nothing right now. Though, interestingly, Stonecoil Serpent does have protection from multicolor, which could matter later. So we'll play this, we'll get a forest. That leaves up Snakeskin Veil, which isn't like the best thing, but it's also not the worst thing. Do I want to attack and trade? I'm trying to think what's the worst that happens here. We attack, they give us the pugilist back, then they could try to kill our Quandrix. I mean, they could, I guess they could extinction event for just that. I think I'll want the pugilist back at some point, though. 1, 2, 3. We're still 3 lands away. Alright, let's see what's up. If they block, they block. Like... Alright. Sounds good. I mean, they might just have another one, too. Which I could totally see that being a possibility. Nope. Just putting a Yorion in hand. You know, the downside to all this is they know that we have the Decisive Denial and the Snakeskin Veil. So, I'm having to, like, work around a weird situation here. With an opponent that knows damn well what we're doing. So I'm wondering if I should just go big Stonecoil Serpent here for, like... I say big, it would only be 3. I'm gonna put this in tapped. I'm gonna play this. And again, Extinction Event doesn't clobber us one way or the other here. Yeah, they can kill the pugilist. I'm fine with that. I'm more worried about stopping, you know, some of their other stuff that's just bigger. Here comes a Yorion. Nope. No Yorion. Alright. Fair enough. Attack. If we make this a... Well, Yorion can't block. This can't be blocked by that anyway. So, we could do either or. We could just go for 4 here, which I like. Opponent has 2, 4, 5, 6. So they could have 7. And then they'd be able to Extinction Event anyway, and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see what they got. Oh, we're getting set up here, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get lucky and draw another Decisive Denial. I don't think we will, but would be nice. Don't think we're going to pull out of this one. I think we were a touch too slow. And I played it a little conservative, too, which might have come back to bite me. Ooh, another Stonecoil Serpent. That probably doesn't get the job done. Alright. How bad is it? I mean, I assume this is it. Yeah, you go get your second island. Unfortunately, we did not find another one of our decisive denials, so... okay. That's bad, but not as bad as it could have been. That's acceptable. That's within the realm of reasonable, we will call it. What else do we got? Man, I almost feel bad. I mean, we had no way to know, though. Sitting on the Stone Cold Serpent was probably the right answer still. Heartless Act to remove 3 counters. Alright, I'm your Huckleberry. I mean, I hate this, but like, what else are we going to do? The opponent's so low, we got to try to get our points where we can. Yeah, Yorion can't block that anyway. Oh, that'll do. Oh, that'll do nicely. Is that lethal? 11 trample damage, and they've got 5, 6, 7. No, not quite. Well, yeah, we attack with everything. Yeah. That was a good rip. That was a good rip. All right. Ooh. Truly any good, or what we should or shouldn't be doing. I'm just going for it. Trying some new stuff here. And just gonna pass. I considered putting one of these on 1, but like, till we know what the opponent's playing, I don't really... Oh, well, that would have been a dumb problem. I'm gonna go ahead and play this, just to draw some fire from the opponent. Yep. Don't even care if that gets Frostbite. We are good with that. Plus, gives us fodder for Scavenging Ooze later. Rimrock Knights. Makes sense. Now here's the question of just if... I think I'm going to wait. Let's do this up to 3, and let's see if they have another Frostbite or not. And then if those die, then next turn we could at least make a 4/4 Scavenging Ooze and gain 2 life, so it wouldn't be the worst thing. And if they attack, I'll block here. Like, because even if it's just another Rimrock Knight or whatever, I'm totally okay with that. Because again, we're just going to get a bigger Scavenging Ooze with more things to eat. Or not. What was that about, opponent? So they just ran into trade with nothing to back it up. That's so weird. Why? Okay. I guess they're just planning on shooting something here. Let's just go big. Didn't want to play the Ooze because I didn't want to like pay 2, then maybe have them like try to Frostbite it, and then I can't really turn it into what I want. Whereas here, if I get another land, it becomes a real problem for the opponent. Alright, I guess we're gonna attack for 4? I mean, they can activate a Faceless Haven and block. Is this where you're at? Okay. I am okay with this development. Not the way I thought it was gonna go down, but hey. Let's eat some things. In the turn. I'm gonna wait because I can just play. I'd rather play this as a 3/3 body. Does the opponent truly not have anything? This is amazing. What kind of hand did they keep? We must just be about to get blown out by something absurd, right? What's even like a dragon? Okay, Gold Spinner. That makes sense now. At least there's a thing that there's a narrative I can get behind now. Okay, so now we're in kind of a real racing scenario, huh? Okay, well, good news is I still have things in my graveyard to eat, so far we're ahead in the race. Though they can Embercleave next turn, because they probably kept a hand like Dragon Embercleave or something. Okay, yeah, that dies. So be it. Our Scavenging Ooze is going to be big enough that we get our bonus from the Great Hinge now. Pugilist is cute. Not really sure it's what we're looking for. Alright, a land does not hurt. They don't have anything else to eat. Just all in our yard, right? 3 things? 2 things. Alright, I'll go ahead and grow one of our things. Make life hard on the opponent. And going to 22 means even if they have an Embercleave, that's not going to be nearly enough here. Yep, an X. Sure. Yep. We're at 18. Alright, Pugilist. Ooh, wait. That'll only become 2/2s. That's not going to be enough. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Alright. So we get to do this. You'll get a forest. So that's 1 land. That'd be 2 lands. This would be a 3rd land, so we'll get a 3/3. So that's fun. And then still only have 1 more creature, so I can turn this into a 4 power. The best I can do. Is that good enough for us? Debating if I really want to sacrifice the 2nd ooze is all. I think we do. We just attack. And if the opponent wants to trade, so be it. I mean, they have to, or they just die anyway here. The satyrs they're getting do nothing. I'm going to go ahead and play the 2nd Great Hinge. How many creatures are there? There's 1, 2, 3. So I can basically get 3 life or 2 life. I'll wait. If there were less creatures, I think if it's going to be a like 2, then I'd probably just do that and make sure I get just the 2 mana. But here, because there's 3 things to eat, I'm going to go up a level. Alright, there's still not enough blockers yet for the opponent, so they need something else in hand. The satyrs are pointless here, and I wouldn't even block them, honestly. So they'd have no opportunity. Yeah, they're just dead. I get to go first. This hand's not great, and by not great, I mean real bad. So let's mulligan. This is marginally better. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm actually just gonna put this in tapped. And then, okay, that's cute. I'm going to put that down. Just pass, because next turn I can actually play Scavenging Ooze and hold up a Snakeskin Veil. And then that might open things up a little bit. Fantastic. Where will that? Hey, thanks for stopping by and sharing the stream. Alright, let's see what the opponent's up to. And this puts 2 counters on the thing, can target an artifact or enchantment, can return a creature or planeswalker, or target player draw... Oh, shuffles up 3 cards from the graveyard. Is this the Death Touch one? No, that's a flying one. If at least 1 angel was milled this way, you gain 4 life. Sure. Not the biggest fan of that card for that very reason. Seems like it rarely does anything. Though, they just did us a favor by feeding the graveyard, so I dig it. Thank you, opponent. We appreciate your service. I would really like to take down the useful Valkyrie here, but I don't think we can. Though I could return it if necessary. So yeah, they're not going to block here, I don't think. Just thinking about, like, I could put 2 counters on a thing and then whatever. But I'm not. I'm going to wait and see what they do here. Because if they play, like, a different Angel here, with that on the stack, I could bounce the Valkyrie. And then put the counters on. Oh. Urge's Retribution. That's going to make a 4/4 Angel. I guess we'll want to bounce that instead, huh? Because then the Angel just goes away. Nah, I'm just going to counter that. That's going to be a... Well... Do we need to counter it? I don't feel like we do. I feel like we just let it resolve. I mean, it's going to grow the useful Valkyrie, and we're going to take a bit of a hit, but that's fine. I'm willing to gamble here. Alright, so we're going to return a creature, and then we're going to put counters on a thing. Return target creature to return, be that one, and put 2 counters on this. Okay. Oh, why couldn't I found one more land? I actually almost did this during the end step just to make sure I could play the Great Hinge, but I don't have creatures anyway. Though we can fight, and that is an entertaining prospect here. So let's at least fight this. So they don't get the chance to use it next turn. So then all they have to do damage with is the Renegade. Alright, then we get to leave mana up here. We're at 14 life. We get to eat one thing, go to 15. This will have double strike next turn, so we do have to keep that in mind. I also think my opponent's name is cool. Kong the Wizard. Normally when I hear Kong, I think about like gargantuan big-sized monsters. I don't really associate it with being a wizard. This is a tough turn for the opponent. Like, they know we have 2 mana up. Now they know we're playing Decisive Denials. So they kind of probably having to think about that. Renegade. I can't really do anything about a Renegade. So that just does what it's going to do. However, it could help make... It will. They do get to gain life, which is annoying, I will admit. But this makes it much cheaper for our Great Hinge, which is awesome. I was going to say, they may also be contemplating like using this actual ability as well, if they were to block. So now we do have to be a little bit careful. I mean, the opponent could create a situation where they get to double strike, and that's going to be a whole lot of not fun. But that's already 8 damage there. Ooh, double fight spells are nice, though. Not gonna lie. Okay. Well, we're gonna get in there. I also appreciate that we're gonna gain 2 life here as well. Man, this one Scavenging Ooze is doing all the work. I mean, really. I don't think I've ever had a Scavenging Ooze have to navigate this much stuff by itself, but this boy is working overtime. Oh, another Renegade. Jeez. Okay, so the 2 that are attacking are gonna double strike, so that's 8. We're only... Alright, let's do this. Let's tap for green. Tap for blue. Tap. Hold on. Tap this for blue. And we'll fight... Oop, hold on. Dark creature I control. Why does it ask me if I want to submit 1? Weird. Normally it just says, like, all the fight spells are normally like, pick one you control, pick one you don't control. Huh. Oh, weird. I guess because full control accidentally came on for some reason. Alright, that's resolved. Yeah. Alright, so we gained 4 more life, so we're going to be doing this. Now, these don't have Death Touch. This have Double Strike. So yeah, we'll just take our 8. I mean, I probably could have killed one, but... Oh, where are our creatures? I mean, I played about as good as I could being conservative here. And just nothing. Oh, boy. Okay, well, let's see what's up. We've literally drawn a creature. Like, this mammoth we put down in the yard, I mean, in play forever ago, could end up being the reason we lose now. Which is so funny. Because I still think it was the correct thing to do at the time. Alright, let's go ahead and eat all the things, I guess. Not sure what their last card is, but we got to gain enough, and I'm probably going to have to fight one of those renegades. Much as I hate it. There's only, what, 2 more things to eat? Alright. This at least makes the race reasonable. Alright, so we're trading 3 for 12. I'm okay making that exchange. I think we can win the race real quick that way. Oh gosh. That's probably a Doomscar or something silly. Oh, you're kidding me! We have 25 creatures in the deck and can't find a 1. This is brutal. The funny thing is, if the opponent had even 1 more creature in the yard, I'd be able to win here. I mean, on the plus side, with double Snakeskin Veil, the opponent can't really kill our creatures, so there's that. And if they're only attacking with the Renegade, I can gain 2, so it's like nullifying their attack. And we get another point here from the Skyclave Cleric. Alright, opponent, what you got? If it's something like, I don't know, Elspeth Conquers Death, I guess the only thing they can do is target the Great Hinge. And then they won't have anything to get back from their yard, so that wouldn't be the worst thing. Alright, they're mostly just playing stuff to block our big, what's now 13-13. And then I'm just going to remove some extra stuff from their yard that, you know, could be relevant for them to get back later. Doubt they will, but, you know. Alright. Hey, it's about time. Here we go. I don't think I've ever been more excited to just draw a dumb creature that just gets a land. There we go. Now we're talking. Now I feel like we can start closing this up a little bit. Oh, I didn't realize they weren't blocking. I just clicked through because I thought they were going to block. Alright, you're going to sweep the board. Attack us for 4 and then sweepsies. Starnheim Unleashed. Well, that's annoying. I guess I should have killed when I could have, huh? Alright, well. That's what I get for not paying attention, just clicking through. Though, the Gargaroths are trying to make sure we don't lose. The Gargaroths are good people. I mean, the opponent can't really do too much here with their Angels. Okay, so they got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at 14. Got a Gargaroth to block, so they got to get rid of that. And I've got 2 Snakeskin Veils. Yeah, okay. Sure. I don't think it matters too much. Yep, useful Valkyrie, you get a couple points of life there. Oh. The Gargaroth made him put the brakes on. Alright, so we're going to attack and I think draw a card off of the Gargaroth. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to attack and make a 3/3. Actually, hold on. Nah, I'm going to draw a card. Yep, didn't matter. Oh man, if they try to like double block the Gargaroth, boom, boom, boom. That's it? Okay, sure. And yes, I could have won there too. Now I'm kind of just curious what the opponent's setting up for. Like this time I actually knew I could win. I'm just more experimenting now. Doing the cat thing and playing with my food, so to speak. Okay. Oh man, now one of the things I will say about this deck that's really fun is that you do have some room to diversify your threats. Like again, like we were talking about in the opener, like if you decide you want to worry more about the Witherbloom pest decks, then go ahead and play more things like Vorinclex and Questing Beast, right? If you were worried about more spot removal, you can go ahead and play stuff like Heroic Intervention. You know, like there's things, lots of things out there that let you kind of flex your spots quite a bit. If you're still worried about even Sultai ultimatums and such, you can go play the new thing that counters instant or sorcery and then gets all copies, right? That's a thing you can do. So there's so many opportunities here in these two colors to do a lot of things in the format. So I don't know if this is the best build, but I can tell you it's a whole heck of a lot of fun. And that's what I'm aiming for whenever I build my deck list. Like nothing has to necessarily be top tier, but you do need it to at least be fun while you're trying to be competitive. Now, as for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Fog. Just good old, simple, green Fog. But really, even all the stuff that's similar, like Darkness or whatever the other cards were that also prevented all combat damage. I'm kind of glad we haven't printed one of these in a while. Interestingly, we haven't printed these in such a stretch that now these are actually worth about 25 cents a piece, which is funny because there's so many of them in the world, I didn't figure anybody would ever want them. But the truth is, these are really still popular as far as kitchen table cards. I just hope we stay away from printing Fog effects in Standard, because inevitably we always end up with some deck that's just like trying to recur these and get them out of the graveyard over and over again, and it's just not fun to watch and it's not fun to play against. So I have no idea if anybody at Wizards watches my stuff, but if you do, please stay away from printing the Fogs. Remember, if you want today's deck list, you can get it down in the description below. Also, there's links to all of our stuff if you want to catch me on Discord, Facebook Gaming, Twitch. Come by, be part of the streams, or even just get deck help. Hop on over to the Discord, come say hi. Also, remember, if you're shopping on TCGPlayer or Amazon for anything, if you use either of the links down below when you do your shopping, I'll get a 1 to 3% kickback and you'll help me and the channel out, and you don't even have to spend any money you haven't already spent. Also, if I don't get it in today's video, tomorrow I will have a link to our Facebook store where I will have these nifty tokens of me and my co-host from my podcast, Color of Magic. We'll also have playmats up for the Dragon Brood and for our podcast if you would like one of those. So keep an eye out for that if you want to get those and have another way to support the channel. And finally, remember, if you haven't, please like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that lets me know you appreciate what I'm doing and lets you be notified every time videos go up. And most importantly, whenever you hit that like button, it does help us, especially even if you leave a comment, to help the video get more traction in the algorithm and be seen by more people. So that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.